It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Welcome to another deep conversation on Vinci to the World, your personal journey to health, wealth, and happiness. My name is Dino Delpesh, your host. I am an entrepreneur and a bodyweight strength coach. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's all good. Just stick around and you'll soon find out. My aim with this segment is to have very deep conversation with extraordinary people from the island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and abroad. Now, these conversations are designed to bring you greater possibilities and insights into living a healthier lifestyle physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and wait for the big one, financially. Now, if you're the kind of person who attaches value to living a healthier lifestyle, personal development, and self-growth, this is your conversation. Yo, it's your boy. Welcome to another episode of Vinci to the World. Now, today I have somebody who's very, very interesting and has some very interesting things to share with us as well. Even things that I myself, is not aware of. But now is an opportunity for us to learn. His name is Darcy Ward, and he had his bachelor's in nursing. And also, he's also an expert in functional range conditioning. Don't ask me what that is. That's why I'm bringing him on to Vinci to the World, where we try to bring you value and help you have more insight into living a healthier lifestyle. So without any further ado, I'd just like to bring my boy up on the screen that we can get this party started. What's up, man? Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. Welcome to Vinci to the World, bro.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Easy. Just before we go into all the sweet stuff, I just, give you a mild introduction of what I've known about you. But maybe for though, there are things that maybe I and maybe everybody else may not know. Tell us a bit about who is Darcy Ward, man.
Well, I am a registered nurse. That's what I'm doing right now. Been an athlete my whole life. Mainly hockey, but a lot of snowboarding, a lot of mountain biking, pretty much anything I can get my hands on. Fitness has been a huge part of my life. So I'm currently trying to create a fitness business to take over as my main income. Yeah, that pretty well sums me up, I think.
Yeah. And also, I know you're the creator of the Instant Muscle Matrix.
Yeah.
Tell me about a bit about that. What does the Instant Muscle Matrix entail? With that background in nursing and also functional range, conditioning, I can imagine something quite interesting.
Yeah. So the plan is primarily for novice lifters. So I want to get guys that are just starting out in the gym, don't really know what they're doing. And the goal of the program is to help them build muscle, but I want them to build injury resilience at the same time. So rather than just strictly lifting, there's going to be a mobility portion, which is where my FRC training comes in, the functional range conditioning. So my clients do some mobility work that in a nutshell, basically strengthens their joints at like their end ranges, So that's where injury occurs. It's where you're the weakest, is where you're fully here. So teaching people how to be strong in those areas as well, just to prolong their lifting careers.
Yeah, most definitely, and that is so important. Like this morning, I actually had this question in my head. Like most guys who pass their 20s, 30s, and 40s. One of the biggest scare that they have is with the joints, and getting injured as a result of starting their fitness journey. So even today I went live and I was sharing my warm-up, because my warm-up usually having a bit of mobility work just to make sure my joints are ready for the heavy work that I'm going to do, so that I can relate and see how important that is. I'm not a mobility expert, but I guess that you have a wide range of tools that you can use to prevent injury. And I don't know if Jason is on our live now, but maybe he'll listen to it later. because I know he commented on one of my posts concerning, one of his greatest struggle being over 30 and working out is injury, preventing injury, whether that's hamstring or, wherever at any other joints. But I know there was a question that I should have asked in the beginning, but I was so curious about, functional range training and what you're doing. If you had to have a superpower, what would that be and why?
Ooh, maybe it's cliche, but I'd want to be super strong.
Come on, man! You gotta be something.
Mr. Incredible, it's just I don't know. I like being strong. I like being in my profession. Strength is a real asset. When you're trying to roll really heavy patients, or I've done a lot of work in mental health. Strength helps in that area as well too, just because you have a physical presence that mitigates violence. So yeah, I just being strong has a lot of benefits, I think. So that would be my
definitely. If you have that superpower, man, you'll be the hero of our planet. You'll be able to move things that we don't need machines to move.
Yeah, exactly.
So who do you serve ideally, as a fitness expert?
Ideally, I'm looking for guys, I don't know, anywhere 18 to 35, starting out. I'm focusing on skinny guys. I don't mind if people have weight to lose, but I'm mostly targeting people who are small and want to get big. They have that insecurity of being little, and they don't want to be little anymore. They want to put muscle on. Those are the guys I want to help. That's where I came from. So relate to the struggle. I understand it, and those are the people I want to serve.
Looking for the guys who want to become Mr. Incredible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I like that. And with this particular niche of individuals, what as a trainer, what do you see as one of their major struggles? Like,
coming from being a small guy myself, there's so many struggles starting out, but probably I'm going to give two. The biggest ones were insecurity. I had no idea what I was doing in the gym, and I didn't want to look like a fool. So I was afraid to try new things or new exercises or whatever, because I didn't want to go in there and do something and look stupid or hurt myself because I wasn't doing it right. So that'd be one. And then the other is I had it on the tip of my tongue there and I forgot. I don't know. I'll come back.
Yeah. But it's okay. But I understand where you're coming from. Like, I think me myself, when I was always in martial arts, so bodyweight training was something that was literally a part of my lifestyle. But I never really know much about the fitness industry per se, even it was a thing. And maybe in my earlier year in college, like I was a skinny guy as well, just like you. And most of the guys would want to go to the gym, and that feeling of not knowing what to do or feeling stupid in the gym, it's there big time. And I can think maybe because of that feeling is why I gravitated so much towards calisthenics and bodyweight training, because you're outside and everybody else is in the gym, but you're outside and no one else, most of the time, no one else was there for me. So, but how did you personally overcome that? Like, what did you do differently?
I just went and did it.
My man.
I say this a lot on my Insta. I tell all of my clients this. You got to not be afraid of failing. You got to allow yourself to be imperfect. And you got to do one of the scariest things as a new lifter and videotape yourself at the gym.
Okay.
There's no way you can analyze your form and make sure you're doing things right or wrong, or take it to your buddy who's an experienced lifter and figure out what's going on, unless you actually have video to see what you're doing, right? So those are the main things for me to overcome that fear is,
just do it. Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. You remind me of I was listening to one of Vince's leadership sessions that he had, I'm not sure if you get to see it, but he was talking about leadership, and he told this very interesting story about when he went to this very cold place. So there was ice water, and he said what he usually do, he'll start by tipping his toe in the water, just to test it first, because he don't want to jump in because he's so afraid of the cold feeling, but he doesn't want anybody to know, he's like that, But then he thought to himself how stupid he is because he's just prolonging the pain, because when you tip your foot in, you're gonna feel that coldness thrilling up your entire body compared to if you just go and take a jump, and you just get the one shock and you just get it over with.
Yeah.
Yeah. And most of the time, on the other side of fear is usually nothing.
Yeah.
People are expecting this big disappointment, this big boogeyman, but usually it's, as we can see from your physique. Well, we can't see it now, but if we check out your Instagram, we can see on the other side of fear is gains.
Yeah.
They're mad, Mr. Incredible gains.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I find a lot of people have, like, one of their biggest fears is failure.
Yeah.
People don't want to fail, so then they let that stop them. They don't do it. But to me, that's failure in itself. You can never be successful without being unsuccessful first. I think I said it to somebody today. I was like, the only way to perfection is through imperfection. You have to go and fail and be imperfect before you can be perfect. So the fear of failure to me is, it's irrational. I mean, I still have it. Everybody has it. It's irrational when you think about it.
That's dope. Imperfection is a part of the recipe to perfection. There's this life coach that I love to follow, Rich Litvin. I'm not sure if you're aware of him. I think he's from London as well, but right now he lives in Los Angeles. And he usually said that he'll tell his clients, one, the reason why I am making more money than you is because I am willing to fail more than you are.
Yeah. That's sweet. I like that.
Yeah. And one of the reasons why you'll find there are people who are in the best shape of their life is because they're willing to, face that fear and take action more than other persons,
Yeah.
But what are some of the major benefits that you have enjoyed as a result of moving from skinny to being in the physique that you are? Because I know a lot of times, persons would have the misconception, oh, if I'm skinny, I'm healthy, because people usually associate fat with being unhealthy and not necessarily skinny with being unhealthy. So what are some of the major difference between those two different?
Give me 1 sec. I'm at work right now and I got to take a really quick call. 1 sec.
No problem. Do your thing.
International as well. Darcy speaking.
So guys, that was Darcy Ward, just diving into some of the struggles that, he might have faced when he started his own fitness journey. And as we can see, just like you, we also had that, that feeling of fear, that feeling of uncertainty of whether or not we're doing the right thing. But the idea is, we got to face that fear, because on the other side of fear is usually a lesson, usually something that you're going to learn. Like there's this supposition in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. It says that there's no failure, only feedback. Okay, so whenever you're tackling a task that seems scary, what usually happens after tackling that task, the brain gets feedback and you tend to have an idea of how to do it better. It's like when you're jumping in a pot of water and you think the water is like 9 feet deep and it's just at your ankle height. You close your eyes and you're waiting for something to happen and nothing usually happens. Then you end up learning that, oh wow, I can do this. Okay, so if right now you're listening to me,
okay,
you're listening to this podcast, and
go straight to
you will be afraid of taking that step forward. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, the worst thing that can happen for you is that you're going to learn something new about yourself, something new about your body. Okay, and if you have any questions that you like to ask about strength training, mobility, living a healthier lifestyle, getting started on your fitness journey, just leave a comment in the comment section and we'll answer it on this live. Anytime being, while we wait for Darcy, I'm just gonna play some music just to keep you guys in. Oh, he's back.
Sorry, I got just got to shut the door there in a second, but yeah,
No
that's
problem.
I almost never get calls, and of course, right now when it's inconvenient, I get one.
Well, this is just an example of, you know, what happens during the process. You know, there's no perfect way of doing anything. You know, this is a part of the imperfect process. You know,
Yeah,
sometime
exactly.
in life, something is gonna happen throughout the journey that comes and distract us. But the idea is to make sure that we know what the goal is. You know, we just get back on track. Okay, because I know for you as well, your journey hasn't been one smooth journey, one straight line. You had times when you feel like stopping, giving up. I even just feel like, you know, why am I doing this? You know, so
Oh,
if you have any, you know, any of those stories that you'll share, that would be really nice.
yeah, man. I've had lots of ups and downs. I think especially early on when I didn't really know, like I was still learning what I was doing. I pushed myself so hard at the gym for so long. I burnt myself completely out.
I know.
I went away on a vacation, came home, and I actually canceled my gym membership. I quit the gym. I don't think I went back to the gym for probably like 7 months.
Wow.
And I still was active. Like I started working on some calisthenics stuff at home while I was doing that. But yeah, honestly, that was one thing where I was imperfect. I was being stubborn, and I didn't want to get a coach. I burnt out because I was working so hard trying to put on muscle, and nothing was happening. When I look back on it, I was overtraining. I was training too hard for too long, too often, and my nutrition was garbage. I thought it was good, but it was crap. So I ended up hitting a plateau, and I just stayed there. And yeah, I didn't know how to do it on my own. And in hindsight, you know, I have a coach now, and I'll always have a coach from here on out. Just because, you know, coaches need coaches.
Yeah, definitely.
Coaches need coaches who need coaches. So there's always something to learn from somebody. And if you're stuck, rather than just spinning my wheels and not going anywhere, it's better to get help with it. So I'd say that was probably one of my biggest blunders along the way.
Yeah. And a coach helped to 10x that results. What you'll gain in a coach in 1 month, it will take you at least a year to do it by yourself.
Easy.
You know?
Easy, man.
That's so dope. Yeah, I was asking about like what was the major difference between when you were a skinny guy and now when you're Mr. Muscle? Like what were some of the major differences for you personally in your lifestyle? And how did that, you know, connected? How did that become of more value to you generally?
I think one of the biggest things for me was, you know, the more I got muscular, the more I liked the way I looked. So my self-image increased, my self-confidence increased.
Yeah.
You know, it came with a whole lot of benefits that were outside of just being stronger. It helped my mental health a lot. It gave me a lot of, just confidence. And that translated into like my work life and everything where, you know, I was a whole lot less tentative going into interviews or whatever because I felt good about myself. I felt good about the way I looked. I felt good about like how I carried myself. And it translated into like better interviews and more job opportunities. So yeah, man, going from skinny to muscular was so much more than just a physical journey. It was a mental journey. It was an emotional journey. taught me a ton of resiliency, taught me a ton of work ethic. There's so many life lessons that come along with fitness. So I think that made me so passionate about it and wanting to give up a career, like a really good career as a nurse, to pursue being an entrepreneur and being a fitness expert, because I want people to gain what I've gained.
I can totally relate with that. And today I emphasize that, first feel better, and then you'll start to look better.
Yeah.
Because when you start to feel better, you shop better in life.
Yeah.
Like, and that is so important.
Yeah. Keep going there,
Well, just to come off the life lessons and the mental stuff, which is really important, because when people see fitness or healthy lifestyle, they only think about, the physical part of things. We don't really see all those, the confidence, the work ethics, but just to share a bit more in terms of strength training and mobility. If a new client come to you right now, and they're struggling with one, they have maybe some sort of shoulder injury, and as a result of that shoulder injury, they can't do certain things and they're lacking in confidence. Like, what would be your best advice or tips to them?
Well, first thing is you have to be patient. You got to let injuries heal. So if it's more of an acute injury, you got to take care of it first and foremost. I've been on the side way too many times where I was impatient and I started training too early. I created either a chronic issue or just continued to re-injure it. So acutely, you got to get treated if you need it. I can't do that. That's a physio or a chiro or whoever, right? For something that's chronic, like, say, even myself, I've got shoulder injuries from hockey. My flexion isn't as good on the right side, so it's foolish for me to be doing like a strict overhead press when my shoulder doesn't want to go into that position anymore. So I've got to compensate. It's a little bit more of an incline press, and I do that until I can freely, with my own, without having force, get my arm into that proper position. You're good to go. Good to go, man. Sorry, Dino. I appreciate you being patient with me here.
It's okay. Well, you're a nurse, man. You got to be on the clock. Let's.
Yeah.
You were saying. Continue.
Yeah. So I think that's the main thing for injuries, and FRC helps a lot with that. Like, that's one of the purposes of it, is to retrain your body to get into those areas that you've lost. So one of the principles with that is, if you don't use it, you lose it. You think about injuries, and for a time being, you can't use it, right? You can only, my range of motion might only be here. So I'm not actually able to do this. What that does in the body is your body starts to understand, like, our bodies are so complex and efficient. The neurology starts to change where you're not activating those or those mechanoreceptors anymore. So the body starts to shut them off. So once that's happened and you've lost range of motion, now you got to retrain your body to find that range of motion and reactivate those mechanoreceptors so it knows that it's safe to go there with weight. So yeah, it starts with a lot of passive stretching just to increase flexibility. And then it's strength training to increase mobility. So flexibility I describe as passive, what you can do bending my finger backwards versus how far I can pull my finger backwards with my own strength. Okay.
Yeah. Nice. You remind me of something that we usually say with calisthenics, is that strength is a skill. So the fact that you were talking about the neuroconnectivity part of it is like the body learns strength, and if you're not teaching the body strength, it would actually forget that, I have this strength to move my limbs in this way.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, yeah. And I think sometimes that's why you find, the muscle atrophy, people as the age, they feel all this stiffness,
Yeah.
And recently I was reading an article concerning flexibility, and one the conclusion that the article draws is that the muscles and the joints don't have that much influence on flexibility as we think. There's also the neuroconnectivity part of it that has a lot to do with the brain.
Yeah.
Because if you inject an individual with some sort of anesthesia, automatically they'll be able to move their limbs in almost any position, which is really fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah, along with that, it's a really cool example is the splits. Like how many people can do the splits? Not that many. But how many people can get their leg passively, like at a 90, right? Like I can do it just standing here.
Yeah.
And there's in between, like your like in your pelvis there's no connective tissue. So if I can go like to that degree on one side, put my leg back down, do it on the other side, technically I have enough flexibility to do the splits. But in my head says there's no fucking way if you get in the splits, you're getting out of it. Won't let you get So it is the neuro training, neurology.
That's dope. I think that's that mind-body connection. That's why as a fitness practitioners, I should say, there's so much crossover into our mental life or emotional life, because it's all connected, mind, body, and spirit. You know? So as a nurse on a day-to-day, do you apply any of your personal trainer philosophies with your patients?
Not a ton. The position I'm working in now, like I'm actually at a work camp. So I'm like, if you look on the map, I'm far north west BC, Canada.
Okay.
I think I'm actually, as the crow flies, I'm like 100 kilometers away from Alaska.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so a lot of my job just involves doing like COVID screenings for people when they come into camp. So I don't actually have that much of an opportunity to have a crossover. So
okay.
They're pretty separate.
So it's pretty cold where you are now, man, or is it like warm?
So like 20, 23 degrees here Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's like, pants and a t-shirt weather.
Yeah. That's good weather. That's good weather. I can work with Celsius.
Yeah.
Okay. There's something that I love to do with all of my guests whenever you come on this session, right? Because the show is called Vinci to the World. And Vinci is actually short for my island, which is St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Do you know where St. Vincent and the Grenadines is?
Yeah.
You know where it is?
Yeah, man. I've wanted to go for a long time.
Okay. So this next segment is called Vinci Trivia, right? This is where I test, your knowledge on the island. You'll get an opportunity to learn. So maybe when you do actually visit, if you come with family or friends, you'll be like, "Yo, do you know that St. Vincent?" So I'm going to bring a quick slideshow up. There's 3 questions. Okay, and it's more. Okay, no one so far has gotten 3 out of 3.
All right.
So you have an opportunity to take that title.
Here we go.
Here we go. Let's get it started. Okay, the first question is, which of these men are national heroes of St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Is it A, Sir Milton Cato? Is it B, Joseph Chatoyer? Is it C, Christopher Columbus? Or is it D, the Honorable Dr. Ralph Gonsalves?
Oh boy, this is a shot in the dark, man. I have no idea. So I'm gonna say, let's go with A.
Okay, A. Is that your final answer, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the correct answer is Joseph Chatier is one of the national heroes of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Okay, he was one of the indigenous Caribs that was on the islands, and he fought against the British during, that time. I can't remember what year it was exactly. But the guy, Milton Cato, he was our first prime minister.
Okay, cool. Right on.
So now you can know more than a typical Vincentian by just knowing this one information.
Yeah, right on.
Okay. So next, the island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines has how many airports? Is it A, 1? Is it B, 2? Is it C, 5? Or is it D, 6?
I'm going to say C, 5.
C, 5. And the correct answer is the island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We actually do have 5 airports. I needed to change to 6. So that is correct. Okay. So I'm going to give you the 5 because recently we finished constructing our international airport. So the old airport, I would not count that as an airport because we have a chain of islands. So the main island has an airport. The second largest island also has an airport. We have two airports on the main island. And Kanawan, I don't know if you know about Kanawan, they have an airport as well as Mustique.
All right.
Okay. So when you visit the island, if you want to take a boat to go to the other smaller islands or you want to take the plane, you have both choices.
All right, sweet. Right on.
Okay. Now the final question is, how far away is the island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is from Barbados? The Barbados is our neighboring island. Is it A, 100 miles away, B, 200 miles away, C, 1,000 miles away, or D, 375 miles away?
Man, I'm going to go with D because that sounds really specific.
I had a feeling you would have done that. Is that your final answer, sir?
Yes, it is.
Okay. The island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is 100 miles away from our neighboring island, Barbados. Okay.
You threw me off. You threw me off.
That was the idea. But now you know. So most likely if you're coming to the island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you will be passing through the island of Barbados. So it'll be important for you to have an idea. Okay, so now how far away am I from my final destination? Okay. And Barbados is usually one of the most popular islands on the map, because there's a few celebrities from there like Rihanna, and there's a few athletes as well from there. So I think most foreigners who are not familiar with the island would be familiar with that island in particular. So if you're wondering where exactly St. Vincent are on the map, you just know St. Vincent is literally west of the island of Barbados.
Cool. Right on.
Yeah. So I hope you have learned, something new about the islands, and this is one of the reasons for Vinci to the world, just to act as at that bridge between, persons here and those abroad, and just to share the whole idea of living a healthier lifestyle. Now, I know that you are an online strength and mobility coach. Now, there are some people who would be listening, maybe interested in working with you. How can that be achieved?
Just shoot me a DM through Instagram. Actually, I think I posted it yesterday. I'm doing a Kickstarter program right now. So
nice.
I'm only taking on 5 guys. Small group, kind of test piloting some new stuff. Mostly some new software that I want to use.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want it, it's people can just DM me or comment on that post, and it's nice and cheap and guaranteed gains.
What's the big promise? What would be the outcome of getting onto this program?
I would say you could realistically, for a new lifter, you could put on up to 10 pounds of lean muscle. It's a 16-week program, so looking at around 2 pounds of lean muscle, a little bit more, 2.5 pounds of lean muscle per month.
Okay, and your Instagram handle is, so I can bring it up on the screen, Darcy, Darcy
_Wardo.
_
I think.
Wardo.
Yeah, that's it.
So if you're interested in getting on to that pilot program that my man Darcy Ward will be running. His handle is right underneath of his face. Let's get it. Let's get those gains, especially for you guys who are hitting it hard in the gym and you want to learn something new and you want to 10x your performance. A lot of times when you're in the gym, you tend to hit that plateau, as he said. And he has had that experience of burning out himself, overtraining, and realizing that what, I need to get a coach. So that way I have structure around my fitness lifestyle. Okay. There's a saying that says, if you go alone, you can go faster. But if you go together, you go much farther. Okay. So man, Darcy, I just want to thank you for coming on this session with me. I really appreciate the conversation. I learned a lot of new stuff, especially when it comes to mobility, and the whole idea of range of motion. These are a few things that I knew, but it just reinforced the idea and the importance of that. I don't know if there's anything else you'd like to leave or share, with my community. The floor is all yours.
Yeah, no, just thanks so much for having me on here. Sorry for all the interruptions, but doing the best you can with what you got, right? So, yeah, no, it was a pleasure chatting, talking about mobility. I love this stuff. I love talking about calisthenics. I'm super passionate about it. So just a pleasure to come on and chat with you.
Easy. And I think in our next session, man, we need to do a live workout together. We do a live workout and an interview session together. That would be dope.
Yeah, I'll come to you.
Even better. No, that would be dope.
Yeah.
Okay, you have a good evening, man. You can get back to your work, and I'm just going to wrap up things here. Okay?
All right, thanks, man. Take care.
Yeah, take care. That was another session on Vinci to the World. I hope you find a lot of value from this session. Just check out my boy Darcy Ward on Instagram. And if you guys are interested in working along with myself, I'm a bodyweight strength coach. I usually focus on working along with aspiring leaders and just to help them burn that 10 to 15 pounds of excess fat. Okay, and excess fat is fat that you don't want, and also remain lean. Because one of the benefits of using relative strength to your body to put on muscle is that the muscle adapt, to your physique. Okay, and you have that lean, sexy look. You know what I'm saying? So you can just drop me a message as well on Instagram, Dino Delplesh, or you can hit me up on Facebook. Okay, I just send a message to my email, Body Reboot, and we can get the body started. Have a beautiful day. This is your boy, Professor Daddy Joy, checking in, peacing out, one love.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
You've made it to the end of another deep conversation on Vinci to the World. And I hope that this conversation has brought you a ton of value. As I said, that my aim here is to act as a bridge between two worlds, that of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and that of the network of experts I've had the opportunity of connecting with throughout the years. Now, to ensure that my mission here has been accomplished, all I ask is for you to leave a comment in the comment section stating what top 3 insights did you gain as a result of this conversation. And also, if you like, you can also leave one actionable step that you can take in the next 7 days that is going to elevate your personal development. I'm Dino Delplesh, your favorite bodyweight strength coach. One love.